So it is currently a Monday night. And I thought I'll do a reading vlog, which obviously will carry on tomorrow, but I thought, I'll start off tonight. But I am currently, I'll share my full TBR tomorrow, but I'm currently reading 14th Deadly Sins by James Patterson and Maxine Petro. It's one of those kind of dual POVs, like where it follows two different characters. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's all right, but it's not for me. I can basically pass on it. I'm like more than halfway through. So yeah, not my favorite crime book, but it's not bad either. It's just kind of like average, average really. But today was a long day, so I went and studied at the Derby University library, and then I went to the gym after, and that's when I realised, OMG, the motivation you need to self-learn is unbelievable, because I was getting like, I was planning it to be, so once a week, at least want to spend one day when I'm off work and just spend a couple of hours just studying. And I was supposed to aim today for 3 hours, but oh my days, I was getting restless after the 2 hours. I was getting really restless. So I then decided to just like have a little bit of a browse of their books and stuff that I have, and so I picked two up. But yeah, it's the motivation. I'm not studying it. So I'm not studying it. It's not because I don't like the subject. It's generally because I'm not used to just sitting and reading. That's basically what it is. It's like reading case studies, answering questions, reading text. It's that kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, I like reading, but like reading kind of, when it comes to reading kind of what's it things, obviously I'm just not used to it, and it's like, it's fatiguing me a little bit. But after I went to the gym, which I think is a good idea to actually do after a long study session. So yeah, but that was literally my day today. So this is my current reading pile. So you would have seen this one, 14th Deadly Sin by James Patterson and Maxine Pietro. And this one was a recent one which I am borrowing from the library, which I mentioned earlier on. This is the Student Wellbeing Toolkit, Preparing for Life of College, University and Beyond. This is by Camilla Davis Rosenthal, I think. This one is actually useful actually also outside of this kind of thing, outside of like college, uni, whatever. It just has some kind of tips on well-being and stuff. So if you are looking for a good well-being book, this may be a good one to you, and you could probably use it practically when at work as well. So it's that. And then The Mind of Billy Milligan, I recently started reading. This is by Daniel Keyes. This is about the guy who was the first guy to be acquitted of a crime with, I think it is personal, hang on, let me just check. Yeah, the first one to be acquitted of a crime because of insanity, because of a personal I believe it's called something else now, multiple personality disorder. I believe it's called something else now. But this is like obviously a real, like, we're not talking about the TikTok thing, but it does fascinate me, the actual real disease, not the TikTok one. And I don't want to sound harsh. I'm not saying like everyone on TikTok who has this disease is making it up, but I mean, it's a bit weird to want to kind of showcase something you're suffering with, because it's actually a really bad disease, because you basically miss parts of your life. Like, you just completely forget different bits, and you just have really bad memory and all sorts. It's not a great one to actually have if you do generally have this disease. But anyway, and then I am rereading the Gospel of Matthew. So that is basically my reading list currently. What I actually like about this book, it warns multiple times of possible trigger warnings. So it warns you in the introduction, it warns you on the actual chapter when you get to the chapter. So sometimes I feel, obviously this is kind of like a one where it's probably more likely to kind of, more likely people like reading this that may have issues to maybe be triggered. But I feel that a lot of like normal like books, they don't have that warning. It's one of those things where you have to physically search it up, and it would be so helpful. It would be so helpful to just put it in the book of any trigger warnings, like in the introduction at least. I feel that's why I felt that a lot of books kind of fail to do. Whereas books like these tend to kind of, you know, emphasize the trigger warnings and everything. But I just thought I'd point this. So if you do want to get this book and you're worried about trigger warnings, then just say that it does say you don't have to read this chapter. You can just move on if it is going to trigger you. And if it does trigger you, they literally got a website and everything. But I just thought I'd just share that because there's not enough books that do that. This part here is insanity. Why would you kind of like, it's a crime to do drugs, so I don't know why they would kind of like, they talk about drug addiction and what it can do and stuff, and then okay, if you do want to do drugs, do this, which is enabling someone. It's very weird. I get now why this book has quite a few trigger warnings, because this chapter had the trigger warning as well. It's a bit weird to be encouraging drug use while not encouraging drug use at the same time. Like, it makes no sense at all. So I'm on a prescription for folic acid, and I've been on it a while, and I was just looking to see, is it cheaper just to get it like online instead of going for a prescription, because the prescription is like £9.50, but because I'm on the highest dose, which is 5, it actually works out cheaper just to have it on prescription, which I was kind of wondering, because I'm thinking this is a lot of money to just throw away, but if I can get it cheaper, but actually it's actually cheaper on prescription. This is starting to get a little more interest, but even then it's not enough. When it comes to crime books, I do prefer the ridiculous storylines, like a bit like an elevator pitch. I like the kind of, this would never really logically happen in the real world kind of plot. I know some people don't like that sort of plots, they like realistic plots, but when it comes to crime, like, I'm open to anything. I find it more interesting when the crime's a bit, and the whole plot's a bit like ridiculous, but it always piques more of my interest. A bit like Elevator Pitch, I really like that one. But yeah, when by crime, I do like more of a kind of outlandish plot, opposed to kind of like mere kind of plots. But I do like the scenes in the courtroom. I've always found like courtroom kind of stuff really fascinating. But yeah, for me, it's not piqued me enough, but it is getting a little bit more interesting, the plot. So yeah, it's like two of their, so as we said, it's like following two POVs in their two different jobs, but it looks like they're both gonna kind of come together to solve this like one crime. So yeah, so I'm gonna take a little break from reading, and I'm gonna head to the to go pick up my prescription. I'm gonna take advantage, obviously, of the Unidays offer. So Unidays, if you've got every Tuesday, you can get a tall, I can't remember what size tall, it's probably small to be fair, but you can get a tall drink for only £2. So yeah, I've not used it yet because I've not been out on the Tuesday to take advantage of that yet. But yeah, if you're a student and you don't have Unidays, then you should get Unidays, because I know people keep talking about Totem, which is fine. Totem is fine. I mean, I think you can use Totem online as well, but it's more advertised for the kind of like student ID sort of thing. But you know, so other places like Unidays kind of gets forgetting. But so that store actually doesn't accept it, which I mean, to be fair, it does say only on selected stores. So there's like the one in town does, Though this one doesn't. I don't think that was someone's on the list actually anyway, but yeah. Choice that was kind of weird, but I think it's because it may be like a franchise kind of, maybe, and then they made the decision. I don't know. This is so intriguing, and I think it's wild how the initial thing where the psychiatrist realizes that he probably has multiple personality disorder. Sorry, I can't speak. And the fact that instead of actually telling them, I don't know, in the end she obviously tells them, but because she made a promise to one of, it's weird, it's a weird concept, but because she made like a promise to one of the kind of characters not to tell anyone, again, just anyway, either way, she points them to a book called Sybil, and I said, well, not a book, maybe a film. Well, it's a book and a film nowadays, but basically it's about this woman who has multiple personal disorder. It's supposed to, I'm not fully looked into it, it's supposed to be a true story, but then I've heard that it's highly fabricated, so I don't know, but either way, I'm not even halfway through this book. I've only read I'm on my second chapter of this, but it's so interesting. As I said, this kind of topic always interests me because they get superhuman abilities as well. Well, not superhuman abilities as such, they can do. I mean, this guy got out of a straitjacket with one of his personalities. Please tell me how someone, I've never been in a straitjacket, but I know it's kind of near enough impossible to get yourself out of it. But yeah, it's always fascinates me because some of them have different accents. People have it, sometimes speak different languages, it's mental. The whole thing is mental. But yeah. But I forgot to mention the one common theme with it, usually if you do have this disorder, it's because you've been traumatized as a child. I think it's 99% of the time something's happened in your childhood to you to develop this condition, because it's very trauma based. I know TikTok will tell you something different, but it is mostly, you don't just suddenly get it as such, unless you've gone through heavy trauma. But usually the trauma, as I said, you've appeared to have it when you were a child, and usually it develops from. But yeah, the whole thing is so fascinating. But psychology as a topic is too confusing for me to even want to even dive into that, to do any kind of what's it on psychology, because it's way too confusing and mind-boggling. I stick to sociology. But yeah, this is so fascinating. This is a book that's been on my TBR for ages, but not wanting it to be there. So basically, I think this was last year, my friend was like, oh, I'm reading this, maybe we should read it as part of a book club, that that sort of thing, we can read it together. Now me, I don't like ebooks. I really need to consider doing this course has really considered that I probably should invest in ebooks, because I bought a glossary, which glossaries you can get online, the NHS literally have a health and social glossary. Anyway, I need to kind of calm myself down a little bit because I really like reading. And yeah, anyway, so I brought this, but it never happened, and this isn't the type of book I'm interested in at all. It's something I'm just really not into, so it's making me think I should just give this away. And it's literally, I don't think I even bought this second hand. I think it's just brand new, and I'm just never gonna reach it. It's been going down to the bottom of the pile for a while now. I'm just thinking, and I just saw it at the corner of my eyes, there's no point of keeping this, because the reading group's not gonna happen. If it was gonna happen, it would have happened already. So I'm just gonna just get rid of it. I'm not interested in it. But yeah, I've clinged on to it for a while for no apparent reason. A mini update. This one I'm gonna finish today. I'm near finishing now. So yeah, I'm definitely near finishing that one. This one I'm on page 112. If I was not reading any of the books, I would have probably finished this one, to be fair. Because anyway, I really highly recommend this one. And then this one, I may finish today, I'm not 100% sure, but I currently want to focus on finishing this one. So yeah, so this one I'm up to page these didn't even have page, oh yeah, page 76. So yeah, so the plan is to at least finish this one. So I've finished this. Overall, it's pretty average. It's not bad, but it's not something to kind of rave about. So I mean, it's not like I don't necessarily not recommend it, but if you are finding something you want to read to kind of kill time, then I mean, go for it. But it's just pretty average. Ham and pineapple pizza. Do not judge me. In fairness, I've not had this in years, so. But yeah, I'm always the person that says I like ham and pineapple, but my go-to is pepperoni. But you know, I fancied some of that sweet pineapple. I am literally at my last tether with this place I'm talking about. I know we've kind of gone off track talking about from reading to this mess. It just, all I'm saying is like one thing after the other, to the point where do I literally have to, bearing in mind a doctor's not going to write a sick note for that, they don't, or do I have to go private and pay for it, because it's getting ridiculous. My workplace is supposed to be flexible, and that means that you can like swap shifts and stuff like that. It's only because of this one person they don't like. Basically, my workplace is a bitch fest. It's literally a bitch fest. Even the managers, it's a bitch fest. Then our question as to why I want to get rid of my shifts, and it's annoying because I don't want to give the reason for it. I mean, I have a reason to say, but like, this is going to happen regular just because of the way things have changed and the way certain people manage is a certain type where my nervous system can't handle it. It really can't handle it. So I can't handle that as well, trying to part-time study. So there'll be times where I'm going to be getting rid of my shifts, if they like it or not. It's going to happen. Tough luck, literally tough luck, and it's just stressing me out because what am I gonna have a third person literally talk to this person? Because it's just so annoying because somebody I'm in contact with told me, can you not like talk to them? And I tried to explain. First, I don't know that one anyway. Second of all, you try to talk to her, she speaks on over you. It's too much. You can't speak. This place is generally too much. Hence the whole career change and going back into study. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do because it's just a slippery slope, and it's getting to the point where I'm generally gonna have I've already literally cried on my shift. Like when I first met, I think the second time, I literally just had a breakdown and cried for half an hour on my break. I just couldn't. I just can't. I just can't with this. I can't. Like I'm trying. Like some days I'm like, okay, she's okay, and then it's like, but then her managing style will get a kick in, and it's just too much. It's too much. I had to deal with this at Subway, and I was there for a month. I can't deal with it here as well. I really cannot. So it's like, my mind at the minute. I'm trying not to let it kind of get to me, but it's not helping at all. Like, it's really not helping my issues at the minute. It's just basically agitating them even more than they actually are. So I don't know. So it's coming up to close to 8 o'clock, and I have work tomorrow morning, which after finding out tonight, even though the schedule has been changed, that I'm not working on Friday, I don't know. It's just, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Either way, the place is just full of, just sack everyone. Just sack all the managers and start all over again. because anyway, whatever. Just be going to bed in a minute, and then we're not doing this again. Anyway, so this one, The Minds of Billy Milligan, I got all the way up to page 132, so near enough halfway through. It's really found it really enjoyable. I got to the part now, it goes beyond the sentencing. Well, I say sentencing, he got acquitted, but you get what I mean. So it goes kind of beyond that as well, of his life and stuff, and it's just a very interesting read. It kind of goes into how you live, how to live with multiple personality disorder, and how they kind of get you to be able to kind of, you can search it all up anyway, but it's very interesting. So yeah, it's a really good one. And then this one I got up to page 125. I will say with this one, which I forgot to mention, this includes activities in it, so you can write in or write on a piece of paper. Because this is alone, I obviously can't write into it, even though looking at the books at the library, people have written in them and underlined them and stuff, which is naughty because you don't own it, but but yeah, I forgot to mention that. But as I said, this one I definitely recommend, even if you don't go to uni, it's just, or do any kind of studying, it's good as an everyday thing to look into and stuff. They've got like everyday things that will like help if you are kind of looking for some kind of like well-being toolkit, as they name it. But yeah, so that's basically it for this video, so bye guys.